We broke this story yesterday when we got news that the NNPC had signed a Memorandum of Understanding with two Chinese firms. That's the Group Managing Director, CEO, so Julari there, flanked by his Chinese counterparts. And April the 30th, that's Thursday last week, there's when this was signed. And this is supposed to be a technical equity partnership between the NNPC and the Chinese partners in order to have them revamp those refineries. Our Business Analyst Chika Mbonu is here with his reaction. Good morning, sir. Welcome. Good to have you.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm very eager to hear your thoughts
no.
on this.
I still remember that cap. You remember that cap, that former MD, the cap, you know?
Ah, yes. Yeah, of course. Who said that by the end of Buhari's term, the refineries would be working?
There was about 4 or 5 resumption days and none of them happened.
Right.
But be that in May, this story of had generated a lot of this story of Chinese firms taking over.
Yes.
You know, the Warri Refinery and Port Harcourt Refineries have generated a lot of excitement. But let's be clear from the upset.
Yeah.
Rotus, please. This is not yet a takeover. It's not yet a takeover. It's an MOU.
Okay.
Memorandum of Understanding.
Yes.
And in Nigeria refinery history, we have seen many MOUs, many announcements, many billions spent, Rotus, but very little petrol produced. So, you know, we're happy that there's an MOU, but that, you know, so what has NNPC signed is a memorandum of understanding with 2 Chinese firms to possibly, 1, rehabilitate, 2, finance, operate and expand their refineries.
Yes.
Now, these refineries are not small assets, Rotus. Port Harcourt Refinery is about 210,000 barrels per day, and capacity, Warri is about 125,000 barrels. Combined is about 335,000 barrels per day in stock capacity. If you remember that Dangote's refinery at inception was 650,000 barrels per day.
Correct.
This is about 52% of Dangote's refinery. So on the paper, this is very significant for the country, but that's not the real issue.
Okay.
The real issue is, can this actually work?
Will we see
the
outcome?
The route is actually works, you know. But our story in the last 50 years has been Nigeria produces oil, crude oil.
Right.
We export it. We import refined fuel. Abi?
Yes.
Subsidize it. Queue for it. You know, that's the story over the last 50 years for Nigeria.
Yes.
For us, you know. Port Harcourt Refinery is 60s, done in the 60s and the 80s. Warri was in the 70s. But over time, Brutus, they have become symbols of poor maintenance, poor corporate governance, you know, political interference. It is a place where you have people who read history and anthropology being the
in oil and gas.
Being chief in oil and gas, being chief accountants and CFOs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In head of procurement. And very, the stories included very expensive turnaround maintenance that turned nothing around. you know.
Yeah.
And so we spend billions of dollars and trillions of naira, you know, fixing refineries that never fix themselves. So that's what the story of Nigeria. And so this new deal, therefore, you know, much as I was happy about it, raises important questions for us. Because the success of the project is very important for this country.
Yeah.
But we ask ourselves questions. One is, who will really be in control?
Right.
Now, we're not seeing the details of the MOU. You know, these are preliminary, so we, you know, believe that down the line, as I said, these are, remember what I even added possibly.
Yes.
So it may not work. Are the Chinese going to just be advisors, or would they actually run the refineries? Because if it's going to be advisors, we're going back to square one. Number 2, who's bringing the money? Who's going to bring the money? You know, is it fresh investment? Are we borrowing again to fix what has already been fixed? So who's bringing the money? So these are not questions I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
You know, and will the refinery operate commercially? You know, or will it return to subsidized pricing that we have had that destroys profitability?
Right.
You know, so when it's done, it's going to be still, you know, the labor people will say, oh, the fuel has to go back to the 10 naira per liter. And everybody just say, now NNPC is working. Let's, you know, go to Dangote refinery.
Yeah.
Let's sell fuel at, you know, but will it be commercial? For also, like what Dangote refinery is suffering, will crude supply be guaranteed?
Right.
So that's very important, you know, because without crude, a refinery is just an expensive warehouse. Note that.
Yeah.
And 5 is who bears the risk if it fails. In the past, we've had government carrying the losses while contractors walked away. So these are the real issues, Rotus, not the headline, not the things that were published. So the critical issues for us include operational control, the supervision, real private sector-led style of management, if it's going to work.
Yeah. 2
for us is the commercial discipline, no political pricing, no interference. Let it run. And we don't need to go far to see how things work. You look at NLNG.
Right.
See how it works. Let things work in a country. Let them politicians, let everybody leave it, out. Not that you go to the reception of the refinery now. Everybody has paper from one senator or one House of Rep person or one minister.
Yeah.
Give him this, employ this or that. The other one is financial discipline, Rotus. It's very important. The refinery must pay for itself, not depend on government bailouts. So it must be run professionally. And finally, transparency and accountability, which is lacking in our great country. We must see progress and results and numbers. So I asked myself when I was looking at this story, I said, can Nigeria happen to this project? Can Nigeria really happen to this project, Rotus?
Yeah.
And what do I mean by that? A big announcement, an initial excitement like now.
Lots of pictures.
Delays.
Yeah.
Cost overruns. Silence. And of course, eventual disappointment.
Yeah.
Of course, it can happen. But there's some hope. The hope includes the fact that Dangote Refinery is proving that refinery can work in Nigeria. It can work in Nigeria. We're proving that as well, and a shift towards market
downstream sector, yeah.
And a stronger pressure to reduce fuel imports.
Yeah.
We can't go back to that. So let me end with this. The deal will not fail because of engineering. It's not engineering the issue. It will succeed or fail because of governance. That's for me, that's what it is. And that's where Nigerians must keep their eyes. So we need to see more details of this. They say there's MOE level. Let the NNPC be very transparent. And when the agreements are finally signed, let's look at the I's, dot them, the T's, cross them, and make sure that we know that Nigeria is getting the best deal. And a privately run refinery on equity basis, proper valuation so that our assets are not sold as junk, even though that, I don't know, a refinery is built in 1960 and 1970, it is ultra analog. I hope that things will still work.
Yeah.
But for me, that's what it is. I'm happy that this private sector-led initiative it's not an issue of government again budgeting for it and throwing money again into it. So let this work and hope that it works.
Nigeria currently only has one working refinery, and that's because Dangote Refinery. Chika, should we have more? Should we have more refineries in Nigeria?
Of course, the more the merrier.
Yes. Can't depend on one.
It can't depend on one. The more the merrier. Just like that, if you have one car, Lotus, you may walk up in the morning, it don't start. It just started,
Yeah.
And then the more the merrier. Remember, I'm sure that Alhaji Dangote himself will want more refineries so that he can sleep very well. Every time they call him monopoly, poor man. So that let's have more. Remember that the price of every commodity is determined by the supply and the demand. So if you have more refineries, more supply, more refinery comes on stream, all the mini refineries come out, and there's crude supply, which is the major thing, really.
Right.
Crude supply, availability of feedstock for the refineries. Things will work better, and we'll have the products. And then, of course, we can export. Africa is, hungry for these products.
Yeah.
So if Nigeria is satisfied, we can export outside Nigeria and earn the foreign currency required to balance our books.
Fantastic. Chika, so just on banking news, very quickly, just to get your thoughts.
Uncle Jim.
Jim Ovia, just for our audience.
The doyen of one of the doyens of banking industry in Nigeria. The titan in banking industry in Nigeria.
Founder and group chairman.
We respect him, the final group chairman of
retired.
An entrepreneur.
Yeah.
The 1990, that's when he started the Zenith Bank.
Yeah.
With the Fola Diolas, the Tayos, the new revolutionary group that took over the banking industry in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And he was there and he started it. And he's led Zenith to be the most profitable bank in Nigeria, in a lot of indices.
Yep.
And that. So he's still a young man at 74 years old.
Right.
If Warren Buffett can
at 95
is still agile and still chairman of Berkshire, Jim, please don't go too far. We need your experience. We need your support. We need everything in the bigger financial and banking industry to move things forward. But the issues there include the fact that, one, the CBN policy is working.
Yes.
That the fact that after 12 years, the tenure of the chairman will leave.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong. It's, that let there be freshness also sometimes. New ideas, new things are happening that. And two, most importantly for the bank, is continuity. They're able to transit properly. And then to Alhaji Bello, who has been a director, the director has been there, I think from 1991 has been there. There. So he's run the race, he knows where everything is done. So that's that. So it's done, transition is smooth. The industry has gotten better for it. And the CBN policy has worked, which is very important. But Uncle Jim, don't go too far.
I know, right? And you just mentioned his name, Engineer Mustafa Bello, is the new chair appointed as well. So congrats to him and tenure well served.
We know that Uncle Jim is not going too far.
Exactly, he's still around.
He'll move to the next building.
All right, Business Analyst Chika Mbonu, thank you so much for talking to us about the refineries and of course Jimovia, a credible term there as chair of Zenith Bank. Thanks so much, Chika.